Yeah, there we go. All right, so now we are live. What is going on, guys? Night two of four of our WWE coverage tonight. It's the RCWR Show with Lee Sanders. I am your host, the one and only Lee Sanders. Thank you guys so much for checking out this special edition for Saturday night of April 7th, 2018. We are coming at you all just a couple of minutes removed from a fantastic WWE NXT Takeover New Orleans event. Top to bottom, enjoyed it. Thoroughly enjoyed it. We got a poll up right now on YouTube and on Twitter asking you guys, what did you make of tonight's NXT Takeover event? And, and actually, now that I think about it, we did not. I repeat, we did not put that poll up yet on YouTube, but I definitely will be doing that in a hot second. But right now, I am looking at what we have for the Twitter results. It's still coming in relatively early, but just so you guys can get a little bit of a snippet preview, let's click over here and let's hit tweets, replies. It's actually the last thing I had put out before we went live here. All right, so far we have about over 110 votes. Right now, we've got about 1% of folks that are giving it a thumbs down. 2% of folks are staying in the middle. And a overwhelming 97% are giving the NXT event a thumbs up. Now, I actually had ended up putting this out twice by accident. So it's very similar right now. Honestly, I'm going with the one that's giving me the more votes right now. So that's the one I got to stick to. I will definitely show you guys some love on YouTube as well for those of you that maybe do not have Twitter, and I'll actually create that right now. And as I'm creating that for you guys, do me a huge favor, make sure however you're checking this out, because we're streaming only tonight on YouTube and on Facebook. So however you're checking it out, make sure you click on the likes, the hearts, all that good stuff. And if you haven't subscribed, do subscribe. I am on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at the RCWR Show. All right, so I'm on the communities tab section on the YouTube channel right now, and we'll just go on ahead. I'm just literally going to do a copy and paste. I mean, it's just that simple, right? Just that simple. So let's go ahead. Let's do that. I'll post literally what I posted on Twitter for YouTube, and we'll give you guys the polling results here. We'll say thumbs up. We'll give you guys a thumbs down option as well. And we'll give you guys one more. We'll give you the staying in the middle. You guys want to go in that direction. And folks on YouTube, in the communities tab section, that is now live. So you guys could definitely go on ahead and cast your vote that way as well. What a great, fantastic, interactive crowd that we have from the New Orleans area. Yeah, I mean, that was just really on fire. Great, engaging crowd. Into it from the opener, going into the middle, even right on up through the end. Talk about an emotional roller coaster of a ride that we all had just watched there with Takeover. And I tell you what, man, stage, as always, with Triple H and crew and these Takeover events, the bar is always set so high. And I know off and on the past couple of years, I have come on this show and I have basically gone in the direction of, okay, well, which show was better when you compare Mania to NXT Takeover? And it's almost a fair comparison. Now, I know some people may feel no, because NXT isn't going an additional 2 hours like a WrestleMania is. But when you look at these NXT Takeover events, it's made to feel like a spectacular event that you need to make sure that you're doing everything in your power to watch this event. Nothing else matters. You need to be watching NXT Takeover. And the way that it's just been built up over the years, I think honestly it is getting to that point now where it's almost a good fair comparison to say, okay, which is better now that WrestleMania has passed? Now that the NXT Takeover events passed, which is better? Is it Takeover or was it WrestleMania? And I commend those that will jump out there, stay true to their convictions and say, well, no, I think honestly, Takeover was better than Mania, or no, Mania was better than Takeover, and here's the reason why. I think at the end of the day, it just depends on what exactly you're looking for from your favorite wrestling promotion when it's all said and done. but a fantastic night, and we've got another night to go. I am eagerly looking forward to it. So look, we had an NXT Takeover pre-show that consisted of Charlie Caruso, the beautiful and lovely Charlie Caruso. I mean, the past two nights, her wardrobe has just been, to quote Billy Crystal, "You look marvelous." I mean, just scrumptious. All right. Tonight we also had Sam Roberts, whatever. But we had a newcomer to the NXT panel, and those of you that have been paying attention to hashtag NXT Indie, you know a little bit about this guy. I'm talking about Pat McAfee, who was a Indianapolis football player, a punter, and I tell you what, fantastic having him on board. He had gave the whole panel such a shot of excitement, I must say, because this guy, and I had to look him up because I'm going, wait a minute, who's this guy again? And then I was able to refresh my memory. I go, oh, I knew that name sounded familiar. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm going, wait a minute. He is given this marquee spot here with the color commentating team. He must be good. And I looked up a little bit of his stuff, and yeah, okay, yeah, he's actually on point. Cool. This guy had me laughing within the first few seconds. I'm going, this guy is charismatic as hell. He's energetic as hell. He is better than Peter Rosenberg. He is better than Sam Roberts. Now, I will give Sam Roberts a little bit of credit, okay, just to defend him a little bit and just to defend the longtime fans of Sam Roberts. You can make the argument, well, Sam is a little bit restrained because he's got to play nice. He's got to play a little bit footsie with the WWE, right? But no, some people actually even like, no, put that to the side or not. No, this guy, Pat McAfee, yeah, this guy's better. He's cool. I love McAfee. I thought McAfee did a phenomenal job. He had me laughing all throughout the pre-show. I love the part where I believe they were previewing Amber Moon taking on Shayna Baszler. They were highlighting that matchup, and I like how you basically had said something along the lines of snap, tap, or crap, and he said that more than once, and I just died in hysteria. I was just laughing my ass off hearing him say that, and to see Charlie Caruso and Sam Roberts have these bug out eyeballs and a bewildered look on their face, like, oh my God, are you serious? Did you just say that, dude? Because now we're going to be hearing it in our headsets. And I just loved how he said that. He must have dropped that line at least 3 times. And then finally you had Charlie kick on in there, and she's going, it's actually, and he goes, oh, really? Okay, well, I'm just saying, I know if it was me personally in the ring, that's exactly what I do. I definitely would be doing that last one. I would be crapping. And I'm just going, wow, this guy is unapologetic. He is just going there. Okay, cool. I loved it. I know there were some people that really weren't feeling it. And I don't know what you expect from your color commentators nowadays. I mean, for me personally, above anything else, I want charisma. I want some type of personality. For me, when I look at some of these color commentators and I hear them, it needs to come off as though, okay, if I were to go in a bar and I were to just strike up a random conversation with somebody, who would it be? Yeah, I'm probably going to consider appearance, but I'm also going to be having my ears out there listening, eavesdropping in on a few different conversations, and hey, that sounds kind of cool. And, slide myself on in the conversation or whatever. And I got to tell you, I hate to be a dick. I really, really do. I'm sure Pete Rosenberg is a nice guy. I could maybe see myself striking up a conversation with the man. Sam Roberts, I'm just not seeing it. Sadly, Sam Roberts, I'm not seeing it. David Otunga, I'm not seeing it. But you give me a guy like Amaro Ronaldo, you give me a guy like Percy Watson, you give me him. You give me McAfee, you give me Corey Graves. Hell, you can even give me Michael Cole. I'm sure I can get something out of him, right? But no, there's just some guys you just hear and then you look at them and you just go, I don't really think I'd really be interacting with you like that. To each its own. I think at the end of the day, it's just all about personal taste. But McAfee killed it out there. I thought he did a phenomenal job on color commentating. We didn't have any pre-show matches going into tonight's NXT Takeover event. I repeat, we did not have any NXT Takeover pre-show matches before the actual match itself. Now, I am looking at the entire card as it speaks right now, and there was not even any dark matches, at least at the time that we are recording this for you guys right now. Let's jump right into it, man. We had our first matchup that opened up the entire takeover event, which was Adam Cole taking on EC3, Killian Dane, Lars Sullivan, Ricochet, and the Velveteen Dream ladder match for the inaugural NXT North American Championship. Whoo! Ooh, ooh. Good God Almighty. What a match. What a match. This match and the unsanctioned match that closed out the night. These were your two matches that had ran the longest. All right. Your unsanctioned match between Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, that took almost 40 minutes. Meanwhile, your NXT North American Championship match, that actually had went a little bit over 30 minutes, right? So fantastic. This was just, the guys that really jumped out to me in this matchup the most, trying to see how they would be in this type of an environment setting. I really was very curious how Ricochet would do. I was definitely curious how Velveteen Dream would do, because this, for me, was the biggest test to date for Velveteen Dream. I mean, he's had a few tests and he's passed them very well. But for me, I'm looking at this particular matchup and saying, okay, let's see how you roll with this type of match. And I tell you what, there was one spot, and I know you guys know the spot I'm talking about. I was legitimately concerned when he was taking on Ricochet. Was it Ricochet, folks? He was taking on Ricochet, and they had the ladder set up. And then you see at one point, Velveteen Dream's leg went in between the steps, right? The gaps in between the steps. So you're kind of going, what is he trying to do right here? What is the move he's trying to pull off? Then he's able to kind of gain his composure, kind of calm down a little bit, get the right footing back in motion. And then to see him just pick up Ricochet and then just drop him, kind of like a attitude adjustment, a mini attitude adjustment, basically. That was just an insane spot right there. I love that. I loved it. I ate all of that up. Some would maybe look at this match and say, it was a little bit of a spot fest with the ladders. I would agree with that to a certain degree, but putting all those spots to the side, all of these guys, they still have brought it to the damn table, man. I thought all of these guys did phenomenally well. I'm taking a look at Lars Sullivan. My God, that is a behemoth of a man. That is a man's man right there. That is a guy that has not skipped out on any type of leg day whatsoever. I couldn't help but watch this with a couple of buddies, and I'm going, God damn, this dude is big everywhere. Big head, big neck, big shoulders, big wrists, big thighs, big ankles. He ain't skipping out on nothing when he works out. That man has definitely a big promising career ahead of him in the WWE. No doubt about that. And Killian Dane, I have been a big fan of Killian Dane. He's coming along, I see, because sometimes I'm not able to watch NXT TakeOver on a weekly basis. Sometimes a couple of weeks for me go past because I'm tied up with other stuff, but I do binge. And it's been nice catching up on what all he's been up to in NXT. And he's coming along very well from what I see. But Lars Sullivan, my God. Lars Sullivan is a freaking beast. A beast of a man. 29 years of age. So, it's safe to say that with the build that he has going on right now, it's safe to say that he is officially in his man's body. Like he has reached his peak. Whereas you look at a guy like a Velveteen Dream, only 22 years of age, I would imagine I imagine Velveteen Dream has a little bit ways to go before he really starts filling out that man body of his. But he's coming along physically. He's coming along compared to when we were first introduced to him on Tough Enough. Let's take it to the closing moments of that matchup. Yeah, just the closing moments. Again, we're not going to do a full blown recap, just a couple of key things that kind of jumped out in my mind and everything. But I do want to talk about the key moments of that matchup where we had saw towards the end. Yeah, and the fans were really into this one. I loved it towards the end because they basically were chanting "Fight Forever." They just wanted these guys to tear it up, just tear it up. One point we saw all 6 men, each of them on opposite sides of a ladder, and they're just climbing up to the top, fighting each other. You're going, who's going to get this? Seriously, who is going to get this? It's a great little spot right there. We did see Lars. He had came back into the ring first, climbed up. You know, told you everybody's just pretty much going at it. We had saw Ricochet climb up. He was one of the last people to climb up on the ladder. EC3, he got sent to the floor first. Dane has stepped down. Dream comes up, but Dream is brought down to the mat, I believe, by a huge neck breaker. Or no. Ricochet. Ricochet had tried to attack Dream, and he brought Dream down with a huge neck breaker from high up. And from there, you had Lars and Dane. They were trading shots back and forth. Lars had chokeslammed Dane to the mat, middle of the ladder. Lars would end up climbing up for the title, but Ricochet would springboard in, takes him and the ladder down. It was an insane spot right there. I thought maybe that might have been some type of a botched move, but kind of kept seeing the replays. You're left with the impression, no, this was actually planned out. This went down exactly the way it was supposed to go down. So from there, we had saw Ricochet looking to climb up to reach the title, but then I was about to say Michael Cole. Lord have mercy. Sorry, guys. That'd be something, wouldn't it? Adam Cole, baby, would run back in, knock him off, and he would reach up for the NXT North American title to become the first ever North American champion. So that was your winner right there. The winner, new NXT North American champion, Adam Cole, baby. After that one, we had got our NXT women's title match, Shayna Baszler taking on Amber Moon. I actually love the psychology of this matchup. I did, because for me, if you've been paying attention to the rivalry that these two women have had going on for these past couple of months, you know that, okay, well, the next time these girls meet up in the ring, it's safe to say that there's going to be some type of a finish. Either it's going to happen with Amber or it's going to happen with Baszler. There's going to be some type of a controversial finish. It's going to have to go down in a MMA type of way as far as the finish goes, right? You knew that a limb would be part of the story. Somebody's going to work somebody's limb, and they're just going to keep over and over and over, you know, and 9 times out of 10, you're kind of looking at this match and you're going, well, maybe it's going to be Baszler. Maybe it's going to be her that's going to get it, right? So you go into this matchup, and again, the psychology for this match, I loved it. I ate it up, loved it tremendously. But, you know, for me, what was the dead giveaway? Ronda Rousey was there in attendance, along with another MMA. I didn't catch her name, sadly, because I was multitasking. As soon as I see that and the camera pans to him, I'm going, shit. I'm like, okay, it's obvious what's going to happen right here. And I just did not think, I was just on here a couple of hours ago offering predictions. And I said to you guys, yeah, I could see Baszler eventually becoming the NXT Women's Champion, because you got to do the whole SummerSlam. That's probably something WWE wants to do, that I had said earlier. I said they probably want to take Ronda. They probably want to take Sonya Deville. They probably want to take Baszler. They probably want to take the woman that Ronda was with tonight. And they probably want to do something there. That's big money that they can do right there. I said that. I stressed that passionately. I've stressed that not just earlier today. I've stressed that off and on the show. So to see Ronda there was, for me, I don't know how it was for you guys, but for me, it was a dead giveaway that, okay, we're going to get a new NXT Women's Champion tonight. But it was a good match. Like I said, the psychology was really, really good. Yeah, I love the fact that at one point Amber Moon had Baszler right in the position where Amber was a couple of months back. Remember, arm all messed up, and yet somehow she miraculously was able to show up and get involved in what was the match that she was in last year at WrestleMania? Some I can't think of it. Oh, wasn't it Yo, it's coming back to me now. My bad. Not last year. It was this year. The women's Royal Rumble match. She had made a little cameo in there. Yeah, man, saying how time flies, by the way. But you see her in that, so you go, okay. So you flip the script. Now it's Amber literally doing the same thing to Baszler, right? Okay, all right, that makes a little bit of sense. Again, good ring psychology. Closing moments of that matchup. Let's take it in there for you guys. We had saw Baszler. She had applied and I'm still trying my best to pronounce this. I'll get it down in due time, guys. I may mess it up tonight, but the next time I say this move, I will have it down. I believe it is called the Karafuda Clutch. She had applied that out of nowhere on Amber Moon. Goes back to working on the injured arm. They pretty much had traded counters, pin attempts on the mat. Baszler gets a close 2 count. Baszler counters an Eclipse attempt and drops Moon right into a modified version of the clutch. We see Moon trying to break free, but it looks as though she's starting to fade out as Baszler keeps the hold applied. The hold is still applied as Moon is barely able to resist passing out at this point, but eventually Moon would pass out from that hold, and that's pretty much how Baszler had became the new NXT Women's Champion. I tell you, to be on social media, just really, especially when it comes to the NXT Takeover events, I'm kind of a silent type. I do a little bit of reading between the matches, but I really like if NXT is on, I'm just being silent. I'm looking at the matches. For me to see this go down the way that it did, first instinct that's coming into my mind is, my God, are we really going to now be in a position where we're going to see Amber Moon come on up to the main roster? Man, and I hate to go in this whole position of, well, she's not ready or it's too soon, because I have to be consistent here. And any longtime listener knows this. I've always been the type of person that has said, hey, and it's kind of funny I'm mentioning this because it all ties back to opportunities, something that WWE Hall of Famer Hillbilly Jim had talked about. When the opportunity comes and it's knocking on your door, what are you going to do? I'm sorry, as much as I would like to take advantage of this opportunity right now, I'm just not ready. Is there any way you can come back to me in a couple of months? Or, you know what, this person is more deserving of it than I am. I really think you should go in this. No, you're going to. Oh, well, thank you. I will do everything in my power to excel in this new position you're putting me in. Thank you. That's real talk. That's real life. That's how it is in real life, man. So, for me, we can be saying it till we're blue in the face that, wow, kind of feels like it's a little too soon for Amber Moon to be moving up the main roster. But the way it's kind of looking right now, let's deal with the immediate future. We know Amber Moon's going to be sticking around in NXT at least just long enough to do a proper goodbye, have an NXT women's title rematch, right? And then maybe afterwards she moves up to the main roster. Yeah, safe to say that's probably how it's going to play out. So for me, I tell you what, man, SummerSlam is literally right around the corner. Like Baszler or not, she has been coming along. She has been getting that ring. She's been getting that ring psychology down very quick. She's been able to adapt so fast. I will definitely give her that. I will. It feels like a shot out of nowhere, though. But at the same time, look, this woman is 37 years of age, and you got a slight window of opportunity when you're in that respected age bracket, especially if long term the plan is for the WWE to get these MMA girls together to have them take on key members of the women's revolution, right? And Sasha Banks, yada 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 yada. So, I'm with you guys. I kind of don't like this. I mean, me personally, I wish this could have played out for another month or whatever, but it is what it is. We got to deal with the here and the now. Honestly, I just really hope that when you stop and you think about how Asuka's run up on the main roster has come about, it's been kind of nothing really too impressive. Honestly, you pretty much have to say Charlotte, Sasha. But out of the women that came on up to the main roster from NXT, you really have to go with Charlotte and Sasha. Those were the two that have, say what you will. Yeah, they've had their periods where it's been kind of just slightly a bit lackluster, but they've been pretty good, consistent hands in the WWE. They've been very reliable. They are pulling in decent merchandise sales. Definitely, I would think, doing their part, pushing the tickets at the gates. So, in their own right, they have been doing their part in carrying the load. So, for me, I think that when Amber Moon does come up on the main roster, I think she'll do well. I really do. I do believe she will excel more so than the latest experiment with Asuka. And I tell you what, I'm hoping that when Asuka, or not Asuka, but I am thinking of Asuka. Forgive me, guys. I'm hoping that when Amber Moon does, in fact, move up to the main roster, that instantly the WWE universe as a whole, especially those that do not check out the NXT product, I hope they're able to see the feud reignited between Asuka and Amber Moon, because it really was a great program that the two of them had going on. But that was a really great matchup. I really enjoyed the ring psychology for that one. Let's go to our next matchup now. We've only got 3 more matches to talk about. Undisputed Eras, Adam Cole, Kylie O'Reilly. They had defeated the Authors of Pain, Roderick Strong, and Pete Dunne to become the NXT Tag Team Champions and receive the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic Trophy. This match clocked in barely at 11 minutes, maybe a little bit over 11 minutes. Great matchup. Honestly, it was really hilarious when you see the Authors of Pain and they're just surrounded by all of the other men that I just mentioned. And you even had the fans chanting 205. Believe it or not, they actually were chanting 205. Hilarious stuff right there. But no, when you see the Authors of Pain and you see the guys that are surrounding them in the middle of the ring, you couldn't help but go, wow, these guys are pretty damn small compared to the Authors of Pain. This kind of seems a little bit one-sided here. Is this match really going down? And then you're going, well, it's a good thing it's a triple threat match. Maybe we can see some gang ups on the Authors of Pain or something, because right now it looks like the Authors of Pain has this hands down when you just look at the height, weight comparison and all of that. But no, this was actually a really good tag match, I must say. It was a damn good tag match. Closing moments of this one, it looked as though Pete Dunne was going to get the job done for him and Roderick Strong. He did one of his signature maneuvers. I forget the opponent. According to my notes right here, it looks like he had did it. Looks like he had did it to Razier. Yeah, I want to say Dunn was maybe fighting Razier, and Dunn was getting ready to go for the cover. Matter of fact, he did have the cover, and it looked like it was about to be a 1, a 2, or 3, but then Roderick Strong just kicked Pete Dunne in the back of the head, grabbed him, and had hit him. What did he hit him with? He hit him with the. Oh, let me look at my notes here. Yeah, dropped him with his knees. End of Heartache. That's what it was. End of Heartache. And then he had put Kylie O'Reilly over Pete Dunne. And it was the 1, 2, 3 that way. And as soon as that spot had went down, I couldn't help but go, by God. I'm thinking Jim Ross now. I'm thinking to myself, Roderick Strong, damn you, goddamn you. Why, Roderick Strong? Why? Well, Roderick Strong would reveal it. Turns out Roderick Strong wants in on one of the most popular stables that's going on in NXT right now, and that is the Undisputed Era. Roderick Strong knows where the bread and butter is right now, and he wanted in. And Adam Cole, baby, welcomed him with open arms to the Undisputed Era. Yeah, what a shocker right there, man. I tell you what, one of my main concerns going into tonight's takeover event was yes, they have been stepping it up, trying to feature Pete Dunne more and more on NXT, but I was really looking for something that would keep him around for sure in the coming weeks until eventually WWE is finally able to iron out this whole deal with the UK. Because remember, we're supposed to eventually be seeing a UK series. That title that Pete Dunne has is supposed to be defended, who knows, weekly, monthly, or whatever. So the fact that you had Roderick Strong betray Pete Dunne, you've got a nice, good story arc right there, while you're also juggling the fact that Roderick Strong has now become the newest member of the Undisputed Era. And I think what's really badass when you look at everything, when you just add it all up, how badass is it right now that one of the most hottest things that's going on in NXT right now, in particular with the Undisputed Era, just happens to be a situation where you've got four guys right now that are making up this stable that are all from Ring of Honor. I mean, just how badass is that? That you've got Ring of Honor in WWE and that subdivision right now, and they are just kicking ass left and right. I'm loving it. I would imagine diehard Ring of Honor fans, they're eating this up, they're loving it, and it's probably giving them a lot of hope that, as if Daniel Bryan and CM Punk wasn't enough, but just that, hey, it's great. We know that the guys that we're seeing here in Ring of Honor, they're doing so well. You know, if they were to go to the WWE, it's almost kind of a proven track record, so to speak, that former Ring of Honor talent is going to be treated pretty damn well by the WWE. So I ate that up. I love that. I love that spot that we had got right there. See how many more matches we oh, thank you for the correction, by the way. Tio, Pete Dunne had covered Kylie O'Reilly. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Hang on. Oh, I see. Yeah, you're trying to. Okay, yeah, Pete. Nah, so it wasn't one of the Authors of Pain guys, right? Okay, I'm with you now. It's kind of coming back to me now. Epic, you're gonna have to clean that up, man. I insist you do some editing. Otherwise, we're gonna have a bunch of people that's gonna go, "Oh, wait, no, that's not what happened, Lee." Yeah, yeah, we gotta make sure we clean that up. So yes, it was Pete Dunne that had covered Kylie O'Reilly, and then we had saw Roderick Strong come in, attack Pete Dunne from behind, pretty much set him up, laid out Pete Dunne. Kylie O'Reilly gets put over by Roderick Strong. Get the 1, 2, 3. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. All right, let's talk about our next matchup here. Not too many more to go. We got two more to talk about. Cien Almas taking on Aleister Black for the NXT Championship. I told you guys I was very conflicted with this matchup. For me, I felt as though it could go either way. It was really too close for me to call. I believe I ended up saying, you know what, let me go with Cien Almas. And boy, I'm glad I was wrong. I really, really am glad that I was wrong, because part of me was going, could Aleister Black be one that's going to be coming up on the main roster? And I'm going, man, he's just now starting to scratch the surface of tearing it up down there. I also thought more and more about the great rivalries that he could be having down in NXT before he moves on up. And yeah, I'm glad that the trigger has finally been pulled on an Aleister Black, because Aleister Black is the fucking man. Straight up. I'm sorry. I gotta go there. He's the fucking man. He is a beast. And this was a great matchup. I mean, you knew that Zelina Vega was going to play some type of a factor, and a factor she did, distracting the referee every chance that she could get. And for me, it just was not realistic to see Zelina Vega do not one, but like two freaking Hurricanranas, right? And Aleister Black is supposed to sell the hell out of them. And I'm going, wait a minute. She's like, what, 4'10"? And maybe if she has something with heels on, she can get boosted up to a little bit over 5 foot, right? I'm like, come on, that's just not. Come on, this tiny cute woman is supposed to, like, I'm supposed to believe that there's so much force in her body from I don't know where that she's gonna make a guy like Aleister Black that's standing at least, my God, 6'6", 6'7", or now he looks like he looks to be a little bit taller than that. He looks to be at least, my God, at least maybe close to 6'8", 6'9", right? Like you're gonna have me believe that she's that powerful that she can do that. You know, it almost kind of reminded me of of the WWE 2K games from back in the day, the old WWE games, and you used to be able to take a female wrestler back when you were able to do intergender matches. You didn't have to do no silly codes or whatever. You could just take your female wrestler and you can basically set their moves and all of that in a way of Big Show or in the way of Andre the Giant, and you can have them take on, right, little tiny 4'10" female created wrestler that you made, and you can have them take on Kane and Undertaker and Andre the Giant, and you know they're just picking them up with these, choke slamming them, doing hurricanranas and all this, and you're wait a minute now. For me, I really wish it could have been a situation where, and I might have made Aleister Black a little bit too tall. I'll say about 6'6", just to stay on the safe side, because he might be a little bit shorter than that. Don't quote me on that, but I'm gonna stay with, because I'm just now comparing his height in my head to the Big Shows and all that. He's much shorter. I mean, he's a tall dude, but he's much shorter. So I'll stay maybe at about 6'5", no less. But you know, I really wish that Zelina Vega for this matchup in particular, I wish the way that things would have been booked is okay. If you're gonna have her interfere, distract the referee, great spots. But instead of her doing this Hurricanrana stuff, why not just have her take advantage of somewhat of a woozy Aleister Black that's trying to come to? He's on the ground. He's on all fours. He's trying to push himself up, gather himself, right? Trying to bear him, you know, get a good feel for his settings, you know, try to reestablish where he is. And then you could just have her come out of nowhere and just grab him by the back of the damn neck and just wham, hit him with a grounded DDT. I mean, that just seems more believable for me. But I mean, other than that, I saw a few people said that her constant interference was overkill and it was ruining the experience. No, I actually thought it was a good equation, quite honestly. And I mean, furthermore, what more would you expect? It wasn't like they said Zelina Vega is banned from ringside. They never did go in that direction. So the minute that you see Zelina Vega is accompanying Cien Almas down to the ring, and you already know what time it is, right? You already know. So I thought the chemistry between Cien Almas and Aleister Black, by the way, in the ring, on freaking point. That bad boy was on fire. I tell you what, kudos to Cien Almas. Cien Almas made Aleister Black look like $1 million freaking dollars tonight. Not that Aleister Black needed it, because he does pretty damn good on his own. But my God, these two had really, really great chemistry. And you know that these two are going to be locking it up again. There's a rematch there that's going to be happening for that title. Let's take it to the closing moments of that matchup. We had saw, and for those of you that's kind of, wait a minute, what about the unsanctioned match between Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Wrestling? That actually had ended NXT Takeover tonight. So closing moments of the matchup, we had saw Aleister Black. He blocked the hammerlock DDT once again because Cien Almas was looking for it a couple of times. They tangled up. Almas nails a big shot to block the Black Mass. From there, they both had went down. They traded shots on the apron. Almas drops Black with a big chop. Almas would then charge at Black with running knees to Black's face, smashing him up against the ring post. They're still fighting on the apron, mind you. We see the referee, he's coming in there trying to check on Black. Almas goes for a draping hammerlock DDT, but Black backdrops him over the top rope to the floor. From there, Black runs the ropes, nails a huge dive over the top rope. Black would then bring in Almas, bring him back into the ring. But then at this point, Almas finally had connected with his hammerlock DDT. Only got himself a 2 count, though. Almas would argue with the referee over the count because he thought for sure it was a 3 count. At this point, this would be the last time that Vega would get involved, trying to help her client out once again, as she would go to the top, but the referee spots her this time. She then jumps off into Almas's arms. Instead, Black takes advantage of this by connecting with the Black Mass to the temple of Cien Almas. And that's pretty much how he got the 1, the 2, the 3, and he became the new NXT champion, the 13th NXT heavyweight champion too, mind you, the 13th. So great matchup. Fantastic. Both of these men, my hat's off to them. That was a fantastic matchup, top to bottom. Loved it. Wish it could have went a little bit longer, but I love the story that they told. I mean, it was the most simplistic story that you could tell. You had great in-ring action that was going on between two of the most technically gifted men to maybe perhaps even come to NXT. And you have this story of Zelina Vega and just how much of a factor was she going to be in this matchup. And it's nice to see that finally things kind of backfired on her. Yeah, we got one more match. Let's go there. We're actually doing pretty damn good on Showtime here. This point, it's probably going to be about close to 50 minutes. We'll definitely see what some of you guys are saying in the chats here before we get ready to wrap it up. One more matchup. Let's go there. Unsanctioned matchup. Johnny Wrestling Gargano taking on Tommaso Ciampa. Remember, if Johnny Wrestling wins, he is reinstated in NXT. What a emotional roller coaster of a match this was. I tell you, best friends when it comes to the wrestling business, the best of friends can do it so well when it comes to being in a feud with each other, because they know the ins and the outs. They know how to push the right buttons on each other. They just know how to tell a really good story. And my hats go off to both of these men. I mean, for me, I think when we fast forward to 2019, this very well could be a situation where this matchup alone could be up for an NXT award, maybe for best match of the year, feud of the year. And I think it would win in both of those categories. I'm sure a lot of you guys would probably agree with me on that one. Great back and forth. I mean, nail biting. Many moments it looked as though this could have went just either way. And I loved how just on the edge of your seats. My God, the mega heat that Tommaso Ciampa was getting from the crowd, from the FU Ciampa to, oh my God, telling him he sucks, calling him an a-hole. I mean, they were throwing everything dirty in that daggone Urban Dictionary at Tommaso Ciampa. Ate it up. I loved it. I loved it tremendously. Closing moments of this matchup, we saw a situation come about where we saw Ciampa. He was like, you know what, bump this. I'm going to do whatever it takes. I'm going to do it by any means necessary to get this win on my former best friend, and I'm going to send his ass packing. And at one point, we saw the two of these guys. They were fighting in the corner up on the top rope, just going back and forth with each other. And eventually, we saw Tommaso Ciampa. He sacrificed his knee. He did take advantage, because I want to say it was Gargano that was on top of him, and he was striking him in the face or whatever. But soon we saw Tommaso Ciampa pretty much counter that, and Tommaso Ciampa sacrificed that knee of his that had sidelined him for so many months. He sacrificed that knee, basically doing like a Carlito backbreaker, if you will. And you thought for sure with a move like that pretty much happening, I won't say top rope, maybe kind of second rope like. You would think with a move like that going down, okay, yeah, that's pretty much it. No, that only had got a near fall. Ciampa would then favor his knee. At that point, he actually took his knee brace off. He removed the knee padding. He went in the corner and was rubbing his knee. And at this point, he just felt as though, okay, well, maybe I need to go even more dirtier and make my point. Maybe I just need to attack Johnny with my bare knee. Maybe that'll get the job done. So as Tommaso Ciampa pretty much had sacrificed that knee brace and all that, that knee brace is actually over by Gargano. So you pretty much see where this is going, right? Okay, so you got Ciampa. He finally charges with that bare naked knee. You've got Gargano who grabs that knee brace, hits him right in that bad boy, and then is trying to go for the submission move. Somehow Ciampa manages to wiggle out of that one. Remember, unsanctioned, so you can touch the ropes all you want. The referee ain't going to be able to help you on this one. All right, you either gonna tap, snap, or as McAfee said, you're gonna crap out, right? So from this point, we see a very frustrated Gargano who decides, okay, you know what? There was some crutches that came into play earlier. By the way, I thought that was a nice spot that had happened with Tommaso Ciampa and the supposed kid that was on crutches. I mean, that just felt like something that we used to see in the 80s or maybe in the 70s, and how, you know, you even go as far back as the ECW days, and how you had the wrestlers, hey, anybody got something I can use? Yeah, give me that right there. I'll use that. Yeah, y'all bring your weapons, bring them. You bring them, yeah, I see them, I'll use them. Bring them, right? And so I love how Tommaso Ciampa had took those poor crutches from that kid, and you just see the poor kid hobbling, and you're going, oh, what a nice way to continue to get even more heat. They booed the hell out of this dude when that spot came about, because they had saw some of the replays on the Titantron. Loved it. They were eating that up, cursing out Ciampa and everything. But no, you see Gargano, he goes for the crutch, he breaks it apart, and then he's getting ready to strike Ciampa over the face with it. But then he has a change of heart. He just can't do it because there's some part of him that's feeling restrained. He feels as though I can't do this to my friend. I just don't have it in me. And you're kind of going, okay, so what's going to happen right here? I don't know about you guys, but I thought at some point maybe Johnny Gargano's wife, Candice LeRae, was maybe going to come out because she just couldn't stand all the physical brutality that she was seeing amongst these two men, and try to let cooler heads prevail. And I just kind of felt as though somehow she was going to get involved and Ciampa was going to take advantage of that. And I'm actually kind of glad that she did not get involved in this match from the storyline standpoint, because I just felt that would have been a little bit overkill. I think you guys would definitely agree. But no, it looked as though Ciampa and Gargano were maybe going to have some type of a meeting of the minds, but then we saw Ciampa. He had tried to hit Gargano with the knee brace, and Gargano countered that, turning that into a submission move. And you're going, okay, now it's time to really bring it home. Let's see how they're going to bring this home. And the finish, if I'm not mistaken, I'm gonna rely on you guys. Gargano had locked up that exposed leg, pretty much had that twisted up, pretty much had a crossface going on, but to add insult to injury, he would take that knee brace and pretty much had it as part of his crossface maneuver, you know, under the neck of Ciampa, and Ciampa just pretty much tapped out within seconds. So on that note, Gargano wins the match, fully reinstated in NXT. So I'm sure a lot of you guys are definitely excited that Gargano is going to be sticking around in NXT a bit longer. I know there's definitely some of you guys that kind of let me know that, nah, really don't want to see him go to 205 lively. And don't even really want to see him on SmackDown just yet. Let him keep doing his thing on 205. He's really been connecting well with the NXT audience, has he not? I mean, when you really stop and think about it, he's definitely one of the guys that is part of the draw and tickets and all that. So there's a part of me, for selfish reasons, that's actually excited that he's at least going to be sticking around in NXT just long enough for me to see him, because NXT is going to be coming for the first time to the nation's capital in DC on Thursday, April the, I think it's the 17th. No, Thursday, April the 19th. They're going to be coming to the Anthem in Washington, D.C. And I'm actually pretty excited for that. I will actually be on location after the event has concluded. And I will be outside on the streets. I'll be doing a live recap. Yes, it will actually be a live recap. And if we can get some people to stop on by and say hello, I'll definitely do some on the spot interviews and get people's thoughts on what they thought about the NXT show for that night. So, but overall, fantastic NXT card from top to bottom. Thoroughly had enjoyed it. Definitely that shot of adrenaline you need to get ready for WrestleMania. And I tell you what, you think about what went down with the Hall of Fame ceremony on Friday night. This event that we had, guys, it just pretty much washed that away. A lot of good stuff has been happening tonight. If you are a big fan of wrestling, got the first ever Women of Honor champion, women's champion. That person got crowned. Impact Wrestling was continuing its thing. They were streaming some great stuff on Twitch. A little bit of the stuff I was checking out earlier from them. It's a great, fantastic weekend to be a wrestling fan, man. This is the time right now where even if you're not a fan of the WWE product, there are just so many promotions that are offering their own, well, come check us out. Hey, here's some alternatives for you. I don't think there's anything wrong with wrestling promotions that are operating in this fashion. I look at it almost kind of like Comic Con, basically, or Awesome Con, if you will. It's just some of the best, just all trying to come together for one cause, and that's just to entertain the masses, basically. So, I liked it. I liked it tremendously. And I see somebody's trying to have me be technical here. I'm looking in the chat here one more time. Johnny used the knee brace and put the camo. Well, what did I say earlier? I'm sorry. I mean, guys, I don't write this stuff with a piece of paper. I think for a guy that's going off of his memory, just off the break, I think I'm doing pretty damn good. I must say, I mean, we ain't ESPN. I'm not Michael Wilbon. I mean, I used to have the bald head. I got a full set of hair now. I'm not Michael Wilbon. I'm not George Michael of the Sports Machine. And I'm just basically really just telling you what I thought about the matches overall. And if you ask me if NXT Takeover gets a passing grade, yeah, it gets a passing grade. So let's take a look at the polling results one more time for you guys. Okay. People want to get technical on what Johnny. You know what, guys? You all in the chat debate on what you think Johnny Gargano did. I pretty much just said what the finish of the match was. I pretty much said Johnny Gargano did a submission maneuver. He did have that bad knee of Tommaso Ciampa's. He did have that locked in while he applied whatever type of move he applied. And it did involve that knee brace being applied somehow to the face of Tommaso Ciampa. I'm going to leave it at that. Y'all deal with the specifics because it's too late to be getting all technical with you guys. And y'all messing with me. And I ain't even had my damn beer yet. I'm supposed to have me a little after buzz party. All right, let's get to some more of you guys' chats and see what y'all had to say about TakeOver tonight. Joker, shout out to Joker. Awesome pay-per-view. Goddamn. See what else we got here. Austin, this might be one of the best pay-per-views I have ever watched. Wow. Sean Simpson, this was a great show. See some love being shown to the ladder match. Let's see what else we got here. Let me hop on over to Twitter real quick here. Don't mind me. I'm just trying to make sure I'm reading all the comments coming in here. Shout out to Aaron. Shout out to Corey. Corey with the wavy hand. Appreciate that. And let's see what else we got here. Let's go to the polling results one more time. And I'm with Brian. Yeah. The pay-per-view was bang, 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 bang. Definitely lemon wedges. Lemon wedges. Wow. Lemon wedges? That sounds like an interesting recipe. Way better than I anticipated. That's usually what happens with these takeover events too, man. You look at the card, right? You go, oh yeah, these are going to be good matches. But then you just come away afterwards. You go, God damn, Wow, and that's the thing with these takeovers. You go, man, how are they gonna top or equal what they did with the last takeover? And somehow they always manage to, if not equal, surpass. I mean, that is just the track record every single freaking time, man. Let's take a look at the polling results one more time. So we have the poll up on Twitter and on Facebook right now. And if you want to take advantage, do vote. I'm letting you guys know right now, too. I've had so many sponsors hit me up looking for opportunities to promote on the WrestleMania after show. I'm letting you guys know right now, y'all gonna have to be patient because there's going to be a few sponsors we're going to be verbally recognizing on air. And like I always tell you guys, without them making the type of contributions that they're making, I mean, they trying to get themselves out there, their product and services, but without them working with us, right? Because we sell advertising spots after all when we do the shows. So without them coming in here, shows like what you're checking out right now, it honestly would not be free. So y'all have been warned. There's going to be a couple of ads that you all will be experiencing when I'm live that I'll be doing. And for those of you that will be checking it out on the download. So, it only happens once a year, and usually we get a lot of opportunities to work with folks. So I'm actually pretty excited for that. So still early for YouTube, but right now we've got 10% giving NXT Takeover a thumbs down, 20% are staying in the middle, and an overwhelming 70% are giving it a thumbs up. Meanwhile, we have almost over 150 votes via Twitter asking you guys how would you rate it. Right now, we have surprisingly 1% staying in the middle, 2% giving it a thumbs down, and an overwhelming 97% giving it a thumbs up. So one more show to go. Actually, we got 2 more shows to go. So I will be simulcasting on YouTube, Facebook, Spreaker. It's our WrestleMania after show. We will be live as soon as WrestleMania concludes. That should be a good after show. I would suspect we're probably going to be on for about an hour and a half tops, right? So that's going to be great. And then Monday, we'll actually do a Raw after WrestleMania edition of the RCWR show. That will be available on YouTube. And I want to say, given the fact that I'm not going to do a Tuesday night show, I think what we'll do is that after show that we'll do after Raw goes off the air, we'll also go on ahead and air it on Spreaker as well. So, one more night down. We got 2 more nights to go. I'm definitely pumped up. Hope you guys are too, because I mean, on that note, now all eyes is set on WrestleMania. So on that note, I do want to take this time out. Thank those of you that have checked out this edition. We'll do this for you again shortly. If you haven't done so already, thumbs up, like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good jazz. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, get at me. I am at the RCWR Show. And until then, I am wishing you guys be safe and most importantly, be kind to one another. Catch you for the WrestleMania after show. Everybody do take care.